What's up, guys? Welcome to Money Talk, the number one news source and the number one information source for everything and anything regarding the stock market, the financial world, and more specifically, cyberlux. Today, guys, we got a special video on cyberlux Corporation, ticker symbol CYBL. I'm going to be talking about whether or not this company meets the requirements of uplisting for Nasdaq. Now, for those that don't know, this company, one of their visions and one of their goals is uplisting for Nasdaq. So we're going to be talking about whether or not this is actually a realistic goal to have and a realistic vision for the company, or are they far behind the requirements and it's going to take them a whole lot longer in order to uplist. Now, for those that don't know why a company would want to uplist in Nasdaq, uplisting for the Nasdaq is a huge catalyst for any stock in the OTC market because this absolutely legitimizes the company on a whole different level, and it also gives access to more investors to trade into the company. For example, right now, guys, every time I make a CYBL video, for those that don't know, we make a lot of CYBL videos, so make sure you guys subscribe, okay? Subscribe and stay on. So when I make a CYBL video, a lot of people ask, where do I buy the stock? Where can I get the stock? Well, that's because, guys, a lot of trading platforms and a lot of trading softwares don't actually allow you to trade stocks in the OTC market. So that's why a lot of people have trouble finding the stock. But if the company were to uplist in the Nasdaq exchange, an exchange which is accepted globally, right, then there would be the barrier to invest in this company would be absolutely vanished, and it'd be a whole lot easier for more investors to join the CYBL team and more investors to invest their money in this company. So with that being said, guys, let's get to the nitty-gritty of what the requirements for uplisting in Nasdaq are. But guys, before we get to that, I need to talk to you guys about something, and that is my Patreon. But wait, don't click away. Let me explain to you what makes my Patreon whole lot different from almost every other content creator's Patreon on YouTube. That's because, guys, my Patreon is profits guaranteed. That's right, you heard that right. Profits guaranteed. Now, what am I talking about? Okay, so let's just go quickly through my Patreon, what it is, and a quick update about why you need to sign up now fast, despite filling up. So my Patreon, guys, costs $20 per month, and it is simply a trade alert system plus a whole lot of other perks. So with this $20, guys, you guys get access to my trade alerts. Now, I don't do a lot of trade alerts because I want these stocks to be absolutely snipes. Now, on these trade alerts, guys, there's a 10% monthly profits guaranteed. That means if I don't hit 10% profits, if you're not green over 10%, then you will be absolutely refunded your money for that month. Now, why would I do this? That's because I want to make sure that you guys can make back the $20 that you're spending on my Patreon for as little as $200, because 10% of $200 is $20. Correct. Okay. Now, it's also important to point out, guys, 10% is not what I'm aiming for. Okay, and I'm aiming for upwards of 30 to 50% green per month. But 10% is guaranteed, and if we don't hit 10%, then everybody gets absolutely a refund. Now, on top of that, we also do once a month raffle for $200, 1 out of 20 spots. Now, what is a 1 out of 20 chances or 1 out of 20 spots? That's because there are only 20 spots available on this Patreon, guys, okay, for the $20 version. Now, if you guys miss out on the $20 version and you guys can't sign up for the $20 version, then make sure you guys check out the $30 version, guys. The $30 version is just as good as the $20 version, but it's just for the people that got late to the party. Now, right now, guys, we have 16 people signed up. That means 4 spots remaining. Okay, 4 spots remaining on the $20 version. Get that now. Now, on top of all this, we also have the Wall Street Best Trending algorithm, which is something that I decided to outsource from Stock Junkies Alternative Data. These guys, they sell this data for $50 per month. $50 per month, okay? And I thought, okay, why don't I pay the high premium and then distribute it as a benefit to my loving Patreons, okay? So what is the Wall Street Best Trending algorithm? These guys basically, they built an algorithm that detects the top 3 most discussed stocks on Wall Street Bets. Now, Wall Street Bets, guys, with over 10.8 million community members, is the #1 spot where people are talking about low cap stocks, short squeezes, and a whole lot of stocks. So this way, you don't need to make a Reddit or anything, and you just understand, okay, what are the stocks that this community is interested in. Now, I take the data that I send out and I post it on my Patreon every single night, okay, from Monday to Thursday and then Sunday night as well. Okay, so before every market open, you guys know exactly what stocks the 10.8 million community members are interested in and they're watching. Okay, now, so with that being said, 24 spots left, okay, out of 20. So get on that fast, guys. The link is in the comments. Press on that. You guys will absolutely not regret your choice of joining the Patreon. It also comes with an exclusive Discord community. Now, the Discord community, guys, I love it because we discuss a whole lot of trades together and the thoughts behind our trade alerts and a whole lot more. Okay, so with that being said, check that out, guys. Let's get back to CYBL and the requirements for Nasdaq. Now guys, the first set of requirements are just some general requirements for Nasdaq and not so specific, so let's just go over them. So the first one is Nasdaq's criterion for corporate governance, including publicly available shareholder reports, majority of independent directors on the board, an independent audit committee, independent committee for the compensation of executives, and a uniform code of conduct for all officers and employees. So this is something that cyberlux actually does have, so that's a great sign. Now moving on is that the company must meet Nasdaq's conditions for shareholder approval of security issuance. Now the truth is guys, most of Nasdaq's conditions are actually the same as other conditions of the OTC market and etc. So with that being said, since CYBL is already a publicly traded company on a different exchange, this shouldn't be too hard for them. Now finally, for the general requirements, we have that if the company was trading its stock on the over-the-counter market prior to listing, it must have a trading volume of at least 2,000 shares over the last 30 days or whatever. As you guys already know, the volume for shares traded on CYBL is a whole lot more than just 2,000 shares. So that's another ding check mark for us. Okay, so now moving on to the specifics and the nitty-gritty, we got the Nasdaq capital market. So it says that the company must at least have 1 million unrestricted publicly held shares with at least 300 unrestricted authorized shareholders. So CYBL right now has a whole lot more than 300 shareholders. However, here's when things get a little bit blurry and they get a little bit confusing. So it says the bid price for these shares must be $4, or under certain circumstances have a closing price between $2 to $3. Right now guys, if you're a holder of CYBL, you know that this stock is trading simply at 4 cents. So that means that a reverse split is definitely needed for this stock to be uplisted in the Nasdaq. Okay, now this is also a great sign because this shows us that a reverse split is definitely on the way, considering how much the company's talking about their goals and their ideas of uplisting in Nasdaq. And now we know guys, when there is a reverse split, the people think that the stock is going crazy for some reason. Okay, and it's a little bit of a psychological trick, and it kind of that just there being a reverse split also boosts the price of the stock. So if they do, let's say a 1 to 100 reverse split or something, right, where every 100 shares somebody gets 1 share, right, at a $4 price, from 4 cents to $4, then I would be certain that the stock jumps another, I would say 25% to maybe even $5 just from the reverse split news. Now it says now regarding the next step of uplisting for the Nasdaq, we got 3 criteria that it needs to meet, and it needs to meet one of the following criteria. Okay, so the equity standard is a little bit hard, right guys, because it says the company must have a total stockholder equity of at least $5 million, and the market value must be unrestricted publicly held over $15 million. So we already know that the market value is over 15 million, and we do have stockholders holding over $5 million worth of shares. So I was actually a little bit confused over here talking about the equity standard is where it gets confusing, because the net income standard is where it gets a little bit confusing, because the company must have at least $750,000 in net income. Now this is actually something that CYBL doesn't have, but that's all right, because it needs to only meet, I think, 1 or 2 out of the standards in order for it to be listed. Okay, so the equity standard we passed, so that was good. Now the market value standard. Says that the market value should be over 15 million, right? And as we already said, I mean, the equity standard and the market value standard are pretty much the same thing, where it gets a little bit confusing as well. But this is also a good sign, guys. So we also do meet 2 out of the 3 standards, even though we basically only need 1 of them. Okay, so with that being said, right now there's a new rule also regarding the SEC that has enforced upon Nasdaq, which is a little bit extra if you ask me, but hey, who am I to judge? So it says that Nasdaq will require boards to have at least one woman and 1 director who self-identifies as an underrepresented minority or LGBTQ. Okay, so basically they just need someone gay on the team. Now that I don't know about you guys, but that to me is a little bit weird, and there's no correlation between that and them being a company, an actual company, but I guess these are, I don't make the rules, the SEC does. Right? So with that being said, guys, these are the requirements for a company in order to be uplisted in Nasdaq. Now, personally, I do believe that CYBL is on the right path to becoming the next Nasdaq traded company. Okay, but with that being said, guys, nothing is for certain, and investing in these companies is always very, very risky. Make sure you never invest more than you're willing to lose, even though I know that it doesn't really work like that because the stock never goes to zero, but you never know. Okay, so with that being said, guys, make sure once again, guys, check out that Patreon. Absolutely worth the value. I mean, $20, 10% profit, or your money back with a $200 monthly lottery with another side perk as well. Like, Walmart doesn't give you guys deals like this. Okay, come on guys, check that out. The first link in the comments, guys, press on the comments. It's my link that is there. Now with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Happy investing. More CYBL videos coming up, so make sure you guys subscribe and smash the thumbs up button. Money talk.